All right, well, let's move on. I suspect we'll be hearing more about that as the weeks go by. Here's an issue we have not had in our first 2 weeks, but a viewer from Crow Wing wants to know what's going on with the medical marijuana issue. Should we start with you, Representative Bly? Any thoughts?
I get emails about it, and articles come my way, but I have not heard a lot of discussion in our caucus about it, and we haven't. I don't know that there's been a lot of discussion among legislators. What I hear from my constituents is that there are concerns about those constituents who have problems with their health, and medical marijuana seems to be a good assist with that, and they are troubled by the fact that they can't have access to it if their doctor felt it was something that would be good for them. I hear, on the other hand, from law enforcement, there are great concerns about how do you control the substance that, according to the federal government, is still there are problems with it, and I know that reading some about what Colorado is dealing with there, they've kind of made it all legal. All use, and there are problems with people who sell it because it's can they what would they do with the funds having sold the marijuana, and some banks are afraid to take the money because it's part of as far as the federal government concerns, still an illegal substance. So there are lots of confusing things, and when you shouldn't be driving under the influence, and so I think that there are concerns about it that need to be addressed or worked out if we move down that path.
Senator Franzen, any thoughts?
Well, sitting on the Public Safety Committee, I'd like to have the law enforcement community supporting this bill, and there has been research in terms of the medicinal value. So the problem is this is a Schedule I drug, so at this point it really hinders the ability for further research and studying, but there has been some, to the extent that it helps, when all else fails, this particular item does work for some conditions. So I'd like to see more about that, having a more thorough discussion about the benefits of it, and having law enforcement be part of that discussion and hopefully being supportive of it.
Well, thank you. I think that we're getting a lot of emails in, and it's some people supporting it, some not supporting it, but I take a look at what the law enforcement community is talking about, and I really put a lot of weight into what the law enforcement community is saying, and I understand there are certainly some values in some people that would certainly receive some relief, probably if they had the ability to use medical marijuana. But I think that we've got a ways to go before this bill is ready for prime time, and at this point, I kind of follow the lead of the law enforcement folks with the concerns and stuff that they're expressing, and I certainly would have to see those issues taken care of prior to. I would want to see this bill move very far.
Well, I'm a second author on the bill. I support it 100%. I think it's something that's long overdue. There's many states that have this already. And this particular bill in the state of Minnesota is going to be the most restrictive, most regulated law in more than any other state that already has this. And I don't see why we shouldn't move forward with it. It's something that's needed and long overdue.
And it's getting a lot of national attention. I remember this morning just watching CNN and having that discussion on national TV. So it is time to have that discussion.